Perimeter and area, worksheet 1. The distance around any closed figure or diagram is called the perimeter. Question 1. Calculate the perimeter of each of the following shapes. For A, the distance around this triangle, we add up 3 plus 3 plus 5, which gives us an answer of 11 centimeters. Let's do E together. We have decimal fractions in this question. We must add up all four lengths. 3,1 plus 5,5 is going to give us an answer of 8,6 centimeters. And 3 plus 5 is 8 centimeters. Therefore, in total, the perimeter is 16,6 centimeters. Press pause to complete question 1 by yourself. Question 2. Calculate the perimeter of each of the following squares. Remember, a square has 4 equal sides. So, for A, the perimeter of the square is 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3, or 4 threes, which is equal to 12 centimeters. For B, this square has a side length of 2 centimeters, therefore its perimeter is going to be 2 times 4, which is 8 centimeters. Press pause to complete question 2 by yourself. Formula. A formula is just a general rule. You must study that the formula for the perimeter of any square is P is equal to 4 times L, where L represents the length of the side of the square. Question 3. Multiplication of decimal fractions. This is some revision before we continue. For A, 0,8 times 2. 8 times 2 is 16. However, we have one decimal place in our question. Therefore, the answer is 1,6. There's one decimal place in our answer. Let's look at this question. We've got 0,7 times 3. We say 7 times 3 is 21. We have one decimal place in our question, so we need one decimal place in our answer. Let's do this one together. 0,6 times 9. We say 6 times 9 is 54. We have one decimal place in our question, so we need one decimal place in our answer. Press pause to complete A by yourself. Question B. 1,2 times 3. We multiply as if the decimal point is not there. 12 times 3 is 36. So we write down 36. Then we have one decimal place in our question, so we have one decimal place in our answer. Let's look at this one together. Let's pretend like the decimal point isn't there. 21 times 3. You can do it on the side, or if you can do it mentally. 21 times 3 is 63. We have one decimal place in our question, so we need one decimal place in our answer. Press pause to complete B by yourself. Question C. 24 times 3 is 72. We have one decimal place in our question, so we need one decimal place in our answer. Let's look at this question. 25 times 4 is 100. Then we have one decimal place in our question, so we need one decimal place in our answer. So our answer is 10,0, or just 10, because that 0 adds no value to the number. Press pause to complete question C. Question 4. Calculate the perimeter of each of the squares below. Write down the formula first. For A, the perimeter of any square is 4 times its length, 4 times L, which is the formula. Then 4 times 4 is 16, and our units are centimeters. Let's do B together. The perimeter of any square is 4 times its length. Then we need to do 4 times 22.1. So on a separate piece of paper, 21 times 4 is 84. Therefore, 22,1 times 4 is 8,4. So our answer is 8,4 centimeters. Press pause to complete question 4 by yourself. Question 5. Calculate the perimeter of each of the following rectangles. Remember, a rectangle has opposite sides which are equal in length. So, for the perimeter of this rectangle, we have 5 centimeters, which gives us 10 centimeters, plus our 2 breadths. We have 2 plus 2, or 2 times 2, which is 4, to give us an answer of 14 centimeters. Let's do this one together. Our length is 3 centimeters and there are 2 3 centimeters, so it's 6, plus the breadth is 1 centimeter, there are 2 of them, so it's 2, so our perimeter in total is 8 centimeters. Press pause to complete question 5. The formula. The formula for the perimeter of any rectangle is P is equal to 2 times L plus 2 times B, where B represents the breadths. You can remember this as 2 lengths and 2 breadths. Another way of writing this is P is equal to 2 bracket the length plus the breadth. So it's the length plus the breadth times by 2. Either one of these formulas are fine. Press pause to complete question 6. Question 6. Calculate the perimeter of each of the rectangles below. Write down the formula first. For A, the perimeter of any rectangle is 2 lengths plus 2 times breadth. You could also write this as 2 length plus 2b, or 2 bracket length plus b. Any of these are fine. Now back to this question. Our 2 lengths is 2 times 5, which is 10. Our 2 breadths is 2 times 2, which is 4. And our final answer is 14 centimeters. Get out your pen, let's do B together. The perimeter of any rectangle, 2 lengths plus 2 breadths. Our 2 lengths is 4,5 times 2, which is going to give us 9. You could do that mentally or by doing a sum on the side. Then our 2 breadths is 2 times 1, which is 2. And our final answer is 11 meters. Take note that the unit is meters in the sum. Press pause to complete question C. Question 7. Calculate the perimeter of each of the following shapes. Write down the formula first where necessary. Let's do A together. It's a rectangle. The perimeter is 2 lengths plus 2 breadths. 2 times 7 is 14, plus 2 times 2, 1 is going to be 4, 2. So the final answer is 18,2 centimeters. Let's do B together. This is a square. Remember, a square has 4 equal lengths. So the perimeter is 4 times L, or just 4L. Now 4 times 2, 2, you can do it mentally or by means of a sum on the side, and it's 8,8 centimeters. For C, this is a triangle. There's no formula. You just need to add up the length of each side. Press pause to complete question 7 by yourself. Worksheet 2, the area of a square. The size of the surface of a 2D figure or diagram is called its area. In this block, the length of each side of this square is 1 centimeter. Its area is therefore 1 centimeter squared. We use the exponent 2 at the top there to show area, 1 centimeter squared. Question 1. Let's complete this together. Write down the area of each square by counting the 1 centimeter squared blocks. For A, the area is 1. For B, we have a 2 by 2 square. The area is 4 centimeters squared. There are 4 1 centimeter squared blocks. For C, we have a 3 by 3, so there are a total of 9 centimeters squared. For D, it's 4 by 4, so if we count them all, we see that we have a total of 16 centimeters squared. The formula for the area of any square is area is equal to its length times its length, or L squared in exponent form. Question 2. Calculate the area of each of the following squares. For B, the area is going to be 2 times 2, which is 4, and take note that the unit is centimeters squared. Press pause to complete question 2 by yourself. Question 3. Calculate the area of each square. Write down the formula first. Let's do C together. Area is equal to length squared. You could also have written length times length, either one. Then 5 times 5 is 25, and our units, very important, centimeters squared. Press pause to complete question 3 by yourself. Worksheet 3, the area of a rectangle. Write down the area of each rectangle by counting the 1 centimeter squared blocks. Let's complete this together. For A, there are 2 blocks. It's 1 by 2, so the answer is 2 centimeters squared. B, 2 by 3, so there are 6 blocks, so the area is 6 centimeters squared. C, it's 2 by 4, so there are a total of 8 centimeters squared blocks. From this we see that the formula for the area of any rectangle is A is equal to its length times whatever its breadth is. Question 2. Calculate the area of each of the following rectangles. Write down the formula first. For A, the area of any rectangle is its length times its breadth. For this diagram, it's 2 times 1, which is 2. Very important, unit is centimeters squared. Press pause to complete question 2. Question 3, multiplication of decimal fractions. For A, 24 times 4 is 96. We have 1 decimal point in our question, so we must put 1 decimal point in our answer. Let's do the next one together. We're going to start by saying 33 times 4. 4 times 3 is 12. 4 times 3 is 12 plus 1 is 132. Then we have 1 decimal point in our question, so we need to put 1 decimal point in our answer to give us 13,2. Press pause to complete question A. Question B, we have 1,2 times 0,3. So we're going to multiply as if the decimal points are there. So we are left with 12 times 3, which is 36. Then we have 2 decimal points in our question. So we need to put 2 decimal points in our answer to give us 0,36. Let's do this one together. We're going to say 21 times 3. You can do it mentally or on the side. It's going to give you 63. Then we have 2 decimal points in our question, so we need to make 2 decimal points in our answer to give an answer of 0,63. Press pause to complete question B. Question C, we have 2,4 times 1,3. We're going to multiply as if the decimal points aren't there. 24 times 13 gives you an answer of 312. We have 2 decimal points in our question, so we need to put 2 decimal points in our answer to make it 3,12. For the next question, we're going to say 23 times 14. Check it by yourself, but you get an answer of 322. Then we have 2 decimal points in our question, so we need to put 2 decimal points in our answer to give us an answer of 3,22. Press pause to complete question C. Question 4. Calculate the area of each square or rectangle. Write down the formulas first. Let's do A together. It's a square. The formula for the area of a square is length times length, or length squared. So you could also have written it like that, length squared. Then that means 3,5 times 3,5. Let's write that down here at the bottom. We have 3,5 times 3,5. So we're going to first say 35 times 35. Do it by yourself and you'll get an answer of 1,225. So first step, we write that down. Then we have 2 decimal places in our question, so we need 2 decimal places in our answer. So we have 12,25. Very important, we're working with area, so our units are centimeters squared. Press pause to complete question 4 by yourself. Worksheet 4. Press pause to complete question 1, 2, 3 and 4 by yourself. Question 5. Calculate the perimeter and the area of each square or rectangle below. Write down the formulas first. For A, the perimeter of a square is 4 times its length. So you must calculate 4 times 7,5 millimeters. Get your answer and make sure that your units are millimeters for perimeter. For the area of a square, the formula is length times length, or length squared. So you're going to work out 7,5 times 7,5. Once you have your answer, make sure that your units are millimeters squared. Press pause to complete question A. Question B. We have a rectangle. Remember, it has 2 lengths and 2 breadths. Therefore, its formula is 2 lengths plus 2 breadths, or 2 length plus breadth. I'm going to use this formula. So we say 2 times 4 centimeters, which is 8 centimeters, plus 2 breadths. 2 times 3,2 is 6,4. Then we add up, so we have 14 units, 4, and very important, our unit is centimeters. Next, the area. The area for any rectangle is its length times its breadth. So in this case, it's 4 times 3,2, which you know how to do now. So complete that by yourself, but remember that the units for area are centimeters squared. Press pause to complete question B and question C by yourself. Worksheet 4. Perimeter and area of irregular shapes. Question 1. Calculate the perimeter of each of the following irregular shapes. For A, there were 2 missing measurements which have been filled in for you. So then all that needs to be done to calculate its perimeter, which is the distance around, is to add up all the lengths. So we have 2 plus 5 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 plus 3. And once you add them all up, you'll see that you get 18 centimeters because it's perimeter. Get out your pens, let's do B together. Before we can calculate the perimeter, we need to first work out these 2 missing lengths. Now, looking at the horizontal lengths first. If this distance is 6 centimeters and that bit there is 3 centimeters, then for this total distance, this bit also needs to be 3 centimeters because 3 plus 3 is 6. Then looking at my vertical lines, if this is 4 and that bit is 2, then this bit there has to be 2 centimeters. Now, let's add up all of our distances to get our perimeter. I'm going to do it without writing it down. 6 plus 4 is 10, 13, 15, 18, 20. So our final answer is 20 centimeters. Because we started counting there, we went all the way around and we ended there. Press pause to complete question C and D by yourself. Question 2. Calculate the area of each of the following irregular shapes. So we have this shape here. We know how to calculate the area of a square or a rectangle. So we divide the shape into two rectangles by drawing a line down the middle. We could have also drawn the line there to divide it into a rectangle there and a square at the top. However, let's use how it's done in the example. So firstly, this example has been done, but these two missing measurements were filled in. Then, if we look at this rectangle here, its dimensions are 3 by 2. So the area of this rectangle is 3 times 2, so it's 6 centimeters squared. If we look at this longer rectangle here, its dimensions are 2 by 4, which gives us an area of 8 centimeters squared, because area is its length times its breadth. Then this area plus that area gives us a total of 14 centimeters squared for the area of this irregular shape. Get out your pens, let's do B together. Firstly, we need to work out that missing length. So if that's 6 and this is 3, then that has to be 3 centimeters. Then if this whole distance is 4 and that's 2, then that little bit there has to be 2 centimeters, because 2 plus 2 is 4. Then let's divide the shape that way. So for this rectangle at the bottom, the area is 6 by 2, which gives us 12 centimeters squared. And for this one at the top here, let's be careful. Its length is 3 centimeters and its breadth there is 2 centimeters, so its area is 6 centimeters squared. So in total we have 12 plus 6, which gives us 18 centimeters squared for the irregular shape. Press pause to complete questions C and D on the next page. Question 3. Calculate the perimeter and the area of each of the following irregular shapes. Let's look at this one together. If this is 9 centimeters and that bit there is 4 centimeters, then this bit has to be 5 centimeters, because 5 plus 4 is 9. If that's 5 and that's 2, then that horizontal bit has to be 3 centimeters. For the perimeter, start at a point and work your way around to add up. For the area, remember you're going to divide your shape into two regular shapes. So here we have one rectangle and there we have another rectangle or square. Work out the area of each separately and add up, remembering that your units for perimeter is centimeter and your units for area are going to be centimeters squared. Press pause to complete A and B by yourself.